everybody, it's Young here with a Final Fantasy VII Remake news update. The following information comes from an interview that Japanese website Dengeki did with producer Yoshinori Kitase and director Tetsuya Nomura, in which they would go ahead and elaborate on what it means for the game to be a multi-part series. Now, the original interview was released in Japanese, but it was translated by website Gematsu recently. They actually missed a lot of the released information on the main article, so one of the mods took to the comments to share everything that Kitase and Nomura had to say about the matter, and here's what they said. From the beginning, we have considered it impossible to remake Final Fantasy VII into one single game. Although it's impossible to tell you the details about the splitting at the moment, please wait for our further announcement. If we try to stuff the whole game into one release, some parts of the game would have to appear as digests. We'd have to remove some contents from the game, and it would be too difficult to add more to the game. Considering that a full remake of the original game must be achieved, we have decided to split the game into episodes. Splitting the original version into episodes with nothing dropped, as well as adding complements and remaking the game in its full volume is what we're thinking. We're planning some mechanism to dig deeper into each episode. Players who have played the original version surely would know everything from the beginning to the end of the game, including some very important moments, and we're planning to give even such users surprises. We are not going to remake a game so you only play for nostalgia. We want to make the hearts of the original fans pump. We are adjusting the storyline with this idea in mind. Not gonna lie, while I'm still very apprehensive about the decision to split the main game into multiple parts, some of what they had to say actually makes sense and gives me a slight hope that maybe something good can come out of this. The Final Fantasy VII lore has expanded a lot since the release of the original almost 19 years ago, and this remake could be their chance to really make a comprehensive Final Fantasy VII experience that expands upon the story and gameplay of the original while remaining faithful to it, even if at the sacrifice of splitting this game into parts. If they can truly make each part so expansive and dense that they give off the impression that the entire series of Final Fantasy VII games truly would not have been possible as one game, and if they can truly enrich Final Fantasy VII significantly enough that splitting the game into parts will be worth it, then maybe the gaming community will be willing to let this slide. For now, until we find out more about their plans, the number of parts the game will be comprised of, the magnitude of each part, and the pricing, I'll remain cautiously optimistic. I just hope they're not making this project too big for their own good. In the same Gematsu article, a translation from an interview by Famitsu with Kitase and Nomura revealed that Square Enix is working with various companies, among them being development studio CyberConnect 2. And apparently CyberConnect 2's production tastes differ from Square Enix's, so the two companies are keeping very close with each other. But at one point, director Tetsuya Nomura was annoyed by the direction of the latest trailer, so Square Enix changed it to be closer to their own style. Already we are starting to see some cracks in the wall. Hopefully these differences in direction is something that they can work out soon as to not impede with the progress of this game, and hopefully Square Enix can properly get into place all the moving cogs and pieces of what I'm sure is a vastly complex machine. Games that have gone too big for their own good on a development standpoint have never ended up being good or cohesive. Resident Evil 6 in particular comes to mind, which between the 150 staff members in Japan and everyone around the world had more than 600 people involved, which would explain why the game ended up being such a disjointed mess. Hopefully Square Enix won't fall into that pit like Capcom did. But anyway, what are your thoughts on what Kitase and Nomura have stated about their reasons and plans for splitting Final Fantasy VII Remake into multiple parts? Do you think this decision will yield positive things like they're saying, or do you think it will impede the overall experience of the game? Let us know in the comments below, and to be further updated on Final Fantasy VII Remake, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out!